Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Teamwork Tuesday. Listen, some of the smartest teams in the world are quietly underperforming. And it's not because of talent, it's really because no one ever slowed down long enough to create clarity. Welcome to Teamwork Tuesday. I am Dr. Cliff Freeman of drclifffreeman.com. I invite you to like, subscribe, click the notifications bell so you are always informed whenever we have a Teamwork Tuesday. Feel free to put in the chat where you're from and where you are hailing from. We would appreciate it greatly if you do just that. And so today, I'm going to show you what this looks like in real organizations. Okay, what in the world does it look like? So we're talking about why smart teams still struggle, and hopefully you guys can hear me well. All right, here we go. So why do smart teams still struggle? Number one, the first reason, I'm gonna give you three things, and then I'm gonna get out of your hair. I want this Teamwork Tuesday to be no more than 10 full minutes. So why in the world do smart teams struggle? Number one, the first reason smart teams struggle is because they refuse to define the destination. They don't define the destination, or where is it that we are going? Okay, what is the destination in which we're seeking to accomplish with what we're doing? Is it better performance? Is it better profits? Is it better productivity? What are we seeking? Where are we going? Right? If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever know how to get there? When you start using the GPS, what's the first thing you put in? The destination. Okay, so you must define your destination. So if you're a leader, senior leader, department head, manager, or whatever the case may be, it is very, very important that you define your destination. Does that make sense? All right. Number two reasons why. Number two way, the second way smart teams struggle is not only do they not define the destination, but they don't decide the priorities. They don't decide the priorities. Let's go back to the GPS scenario, the GPS situation. Let's say you're going on a journey. Okay, you punch in the address where you're going, or you search for where you want to go, or whatever the case is. You decide this is where we're going. This is what I'm going to have, and this is the direction we're going to go. Then you have to decide the priorities. Well, is the priority the fastest route, or is the priority the route without traffic? Because if you're like me, sometimes you can get on your GPS. You can say, I want to go to this location. And then saying you want to go to that location, especially here in America, you can say, I want to go to this location. And it'll tell you, okay, this is the fastest route to get there. It'll tell you it'll take 35 minutes to get there, but there's traffic on it. Or you can go the route that's 37 minutes, and there's no traffic. Or you can go the route that is 30 minutes, but you're going to have to pay tolls to get there. You see, what are the priorities? Is the priority the speed? Is a priority to stay on a certain type of roadway? Is a priority to not be in traffic? You have to determine what those priorities are. The same thing has to happen in your organization, in your church, in your ministry, in your oil and gas company, in your energy company, in your manufacturing plant. You have to decide what those priorities are, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't decide the priorities, watch this. Someone else will define them for you. Someone else will decide what those priorities are for you. So it is important for you. Vision has to come from you. You're the leader. You know where we're going. You know the destination, right? You've already made a definition of what the destination is. Secondly, you must decide what the priorities are. So what are we going to prioritize on our way to where we're going? Are we going to prioritize in that example? Are we going to prioritize speed? Are we going to prioritize not being in traffic? Or are we going to prioritize, speed, and we're going to sacrifice paying the toll? Okay, you have to decide. You got to define the destination, and then you must decide the priority. Is this making sense? All right, if this making sense, go ahead and smash that like button. Put something in the chat. Yeah, that makes sense. Define the destination, and so now Everything I share in the Teamwork Tuesday, listen, it's a snapshot of what I share with organizations over a quarter, over a 4 year, or even in one keynote. And if you're a senior leader that realizes this is what we need in our organization, book a call and let's talk about it, drcliffreeman.com. Now, I told you there would be 3 things, so I wanted to give them to you. Define the destination, decide the priorities, and thirdly, it's declare the expectations. Declare the expectations. All of us have expectations for everything that we do. Have you personally and physically said what your expectations are? If you haven't declared what your expectations are, you will always be disappointed. Okay? You will always be disappointed, right? If you don't declare which direction we're going, you'll be disappointed. If you don't declare, if you don't write it down, if you don't make it clear so that everybody can know where we're going and how we're going to get there, if you don't do that, you will always be upset because you'll always miss out on what you're expecting. You must, ladies and gentlemen, tell the people you work with and who you work for what it is you are expecting for them to do, what you're expecting for them to accomplish. When I was a kid, my mother would tell us her expectations on my report card. If I was expecting to play football, she expected that I would get a certain type of grade. Okay. And if I achieved that type of grade, an A, a B, or whatever it was, an 80 or above, then I could play football. Then I could do whatever it was. Listen, when I was in the military, they gave us expectations. You're expected to complete the Army physical fitness test in this amount of time, running the 2 miles, this many sit-ups in 2 minutes, this many push-ups in 2 minutes. You had expectations. You give your children expectations. You give your spouse expectations. You give whoever you're engaged and involved with expectations of what you expect and what you want to occur. Okay. If you expect nothing, don't get mad if you don't get anything. If you don't expect anything, don't get mad when you don't get anything. So it's very important. If you're the leader, right? You're the manager, you're in charge, you're the CEO, you're the founder, you're the COO, you're the leader of operations, you're the COO. You manage the process in your organization. If you don't declare what those expectations are, okay? Every manufacturing company or every company that has, especially oil and gas, you have on the wall what your expectations are when it comes to safety, don't you? You say 0 accidents. That's your expectation, right? And then they'll say X number of days since the last accident. If you had one 3 years ago, it'll say, it was over almost 1,000 days since our last safety incident or safety accident, right? You have to declare your expectations. People have to know them. When you write them out, when you make them plain, then people can run with them. Does that make sense? It's very, very important to write it out, to make it plain, because clarity is absolutely important. All right. So again, why do smart teams struggle? Why do smart teams struggle? 3 reasons. Number 1, they don't define the destination. Number 2, they don't they don't define the destination. They don't decide the priorities. And then thirdly, they don't declare their expectations. And so I want you to feel free to join me on Tuesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for our Teamwork Tuesdays in less than 10 minutes. All right. We're going to share some things with you. If you missed the live, that's fine. The replay is available. Go ahead and click that link. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, click subscribe. If you need this type of thing for your organization, whether it be 1 time, 4 times a year, or you just got some questions about it, go to drcliffreeman.com and book a call and let's talk about it. Let's see how I can serve your organization. All right. I am Dr. Cliff Freeman. Remember this if you don't remember anything else. Teamwork. It's not talent. It's trust. I'll see you next week. Teamwork Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Peace.